Hey guys, so here's a quick tutorial on how to use AwardSpace as your hosting provider. The first thing you have to do is you gotta come up here and go ahead and do a free sign up. You can use any email you would like. You just have to put in your name, email, and password and go ahead and register. Once you register, the system will send an email verification. Go ahead and open that link, verify the account, and then you should be able to go back here and just log in. Once you're logged in, you will see this control panel, and it has a lot of information here, but we're going to focus on two things. We're going to focus on the domain manager and the Saki app installer. Go ahead and click on domain manager. Okay, now once we come into the domain manager, we have a couple different options. You can register a domain, you can transfer a domain, or you can create a free subdomain. In our case, we're going to go ahead and click on create a free subdomain, and we can select one of the domains. For the purpose of this, I'm going to select at webpages.com, and I'm going to come up with a name. It can be pretty much anything. Okay, so I decided to go ahead and name mine My Site Tech Demo, and I'm gonna go ahead and create it. If it's available, it's gonna tell me that it's been successful at creating this subdomain. And there we go. Now we have a subdomain. So technically this is the address that you can get to your website. Okay, now let's go ahead and go back and we're gonna go ahead and install WordPress. Okay, now on this page, we're gonna go ahead and select the Saki app installer. Okay, now here the nice thing about it is that we just have to go ahead and click on browse and install application. Okay, now it's gonna ask us for some information such as the title of the website. So I'm just gonna type in my tech site demo. The title can be anything depending on what project you're working on. Now this is important. Make sure you create an admin password. It can be anything. You can change it after the installation as well. But I'm gonna go ahead and create something here. And make sure you have a valid admin email, because if you need to reset your password, it's actually going to go to that email. And go ahead and click on install. So now it's creating the database, copying files, and at the end it's going to send you an email with the information on how to log into the website. Okay, we got a message that the installation is completed successfully. There is our website. And go ahead and click on it, and it will show us a WordPress site. Let me go back real quick and show you the database section. So let's go back to our dashboard. We can also go through this link menu here, but I'll go directly to the dashboard. Under Advanced Tools, you'll see the Database Manager. Let's go ahead and click that. Down here, you'll see a list of all your databases. With the free plan, we can only have one database, and it's a little bit more limiting than other databases, but at least you can take a look. So here it tells you your quota, other information like the user, the host. Let's go ahead and click here, PHP My Admin. And what you see here is pretty much the tables creating the structure for WordPress to use. We are limited on what we can do here, but you can still do different operations. You can import, export the site. In other cases, you will be able to actually add users, remove users, and a few more options. So feel free to explore. Okay, now I'm back on the dashboard, and another important thing to learn about is the file managers. So you do have a file manager. So if we click here, This is a built-in file manager, and the nice thing about this one is that it shows you only the directory where your actual website is. It doesn't show us any other backend structures. So when I open it, all the folders that you see here is the WordPress installation, and a couple places to keep in mind is the WP configuration PHP file. And here you can point what your database information is. So for example, the database user, password, the name of the database. Sometimes you might have to edit this manually, and you can do it from here. The other important thing to note is the WP content folder, and this is where it stores a lot of information about the plugins, themes, and uploads. The uploads folder is pretty much the copy of the images, and especially with the editor we're using with Breezy, there's a folder dedicated for it, and that's where it makes the copies for all the images. Now the uploads folder, that's usually where it keeps a copy of images and other files, but feel free to explore. Okay, now here we're gonna look at the FTP manager, and this is important. So the FTP manager, with every hosting account, you get a couple different options to be able to connect to it. So instead of using the built-in manager, we can use an FTP account. So we can use a program such as FileZilla or CyberDuck, and here's FileZilla. With this, you can connect to the server and actually see the same files as a file manager, but you can just transfer things directly from your computer or remove them. It allows you to manage things a little bit more easily. So in order to be able to get the settings to be able to connect, the nice thing about AwardSpace is that you can click on options, and then you can click on FTP configuration files. Here it will automatically give you the configuration files for the program you're using. So all you have to do is download the config file, select the website that you're working with, go ahead and save it, and then when I go back to FileZilla, we can go ahead and on the top navigation bar, depending whether you're on Windows or if you're on Mac, you can go ahead and import. And I'm just gonna look for the configuration file. And it works on both Windows and Mac. It's an XML file. We'll go ahead and open it, press OK, and the import is successful. And then you can just go to the site manager here, and you can go ahead and connect. And we're just gonna have to put in the password for the website. If you get this message, just go ahead and click OK. Now let's go back and let's start taking a look at the WordPress site.